Hello and welcome to another episode of the Darkness Podcast. Today, we're just going to be chilling again. We don't have any guests on.
Stop signs in the fourth dimension.
Stop signs in the fourth dimension. This is that's a precursor
Sorry.
to something we were talking about before the podcast, which was actually nothing. But yeah, this is just going to be us just chilling and talking, not really about anything in particular. Maybe about just us as people, as individuals. Let's get to know each other on this podcast, okay? Because this
Okay.
is exactly what I want from this. But
Okay.
yeah, welcome. I am TD in Horror Stories. That is As the Raven Dreams. If anybody who is listening hasn't heard of us before, we're both narrators. Him more so than me. I've been really slacking lately. Uh, but yeah, um, yeah. I'm sorry about that, everybody. It's just been really hard work-wise trying to come home from work and actually have enough energy to even make anything. Um, so I apologize. I'm working on stuff. I promise I have stuff. It's just it's taken a lot. So yeah.
All right, man. Like I said on Twitter, I guarantee you, everyone here and everyone that listens would rather you be at the top of your game than
Yeah.
just pushing out shit, dude. Come on.
Yeah, I've never really been the one to push out everything. It's always just I've always had the mindset of like, if I have something then I'll post it, but like if I don't then whatever.
Right. Well, and like I said, trust me, I guarantee you, it's preferred. I prefer it that you polish your stuff because I don't know. I feel like going and listening to a narrator that's just depressed and talking as they're exhausted, about to fall asleep in the bed would be kind of boring.
Yeah, I can't make narrations unless I'm 100% in it. Like I
Yeah.
can't just make videos to make videos. Like it has to be because I want to. And it's not that I don't want to. I do want to, and I've been thinking about it constantly since I posted, but um it's more or less I just don't have the energy. So I'm planning on trying to get something out tomorrow after work. Um I would have said today, but I have this and then I have to make another set of thumbnails for Swampy Boy. So
Mm-hmm.
at the
See, I
moment,
feel like.
money is currently my driving point, and that's not because I'm being like greedy about it. I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
ooh, money.
Mm-hmm.
Like, no, dude, I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, ever since the shit happened with my grandmother, like everything has like gone to shit, and like now we have to split the bills in two instead of three. So now there's more
Mm-hmm.
money that I need to come up with. So having
Right.
this extra 200 and whatever dollars on top of it from Swamp Dweller is like it's really important right now.
Right. No, I got you, man. I totally
Hashtag
didn't
sellout.
just say hashtag sellout. God damn it.
Yeah, you really did. I
No,
bet
I'm just.
you you probably were didn't expect it to go like, oh no, that went really sad, and I typed that before I figured it
Hey,
out.
piss off. It wasn't supposed to be like, man, life's tough because of everything that happened last year, and it's really a struggle. And I'm like, I'm not gonna delete that message. I'm just gonna leave it. And no, I'm just messing with you, man. No, I know you're not a sellout. I was just
Yeah,
fucking with you because I typed that whenever you said my
like
main driving point's money.
yeah. And
No,
by
I
the
get
time I
it.
looked at it, I had already finished my whole spiel about how my grandmother passed away, and I looked over and I'm like, yeah, he probably didn't mean that. But yeah, it's just
There you go. I'll put that in the chat. How's that?
that yeah more accurate I think for the current situation.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm working on stuff. I'm trying to get stuff together. I really wish that I just had the energy to like build up like a backlog of stuff and then just
Mm-hmm.
do it. Like I want that really bad. I want a backlog of stuff. Like, but I just like I don't barely have enough energy to make one video, let alone like fucking however many that I decide that I'm gonna put out in the week.
Yeah, I get that. I haven't had the drive to get ahead, and I really need to because, well, I just need to because I need to get shit done. And there was one point during last month where I was like a week and a half ahead of everything, and I was like, wow, I have a week and a half that I can just do nothing. And now I'm like, I didn't make a video today, like yesterday. Yesterday's video was finished rendering and uploaded to YouTube at like 5:15,
Damn.
and it was supposed to go live at 5:30. And it was almost an hour long story, and I'm like, yeah, I probably shouldn't do that shit anymore. Because I'm sitting here looking at it, it's like 528. It's like standard SD version finished processing HD. I'm like, yep, sitting live to 6 p.m. and walking away and going to bed.
I remember like when I was really into doing this, like
Mm-hmm.
all I wanted was to post. Like I didn't care how long it took. Um, I had a schedule, and it was like I think it was Monday and Friday. Every Monday and Friday, I would have a video out, and it would be at 11 a.m. without fail. I would have it scheduled from Sunday night or Thursday night, the night before. Everything would be done. I would record on Wednesday. I would edit on Thursday, have it scheduled to go up on Friday, and it's the same story. On Saturday, I would do the recording and the editing on Sunday and stuff like that. And one thought kind of fucked me a little bit. Apparently nobody noticed that I was even trying to keep organized and get everybody stuff out on time. And it kind of fucked with me a little bit because I was trying so hard to make it happen. And like sometimes I would like freak out about it. That's kind of where my lax look at it is coming from now because of that. I was in a live stream one time. I'm like, yeah, just like always, 11 a.m. tomorrow, a new video. And somebody was like, what do you mean like always? I'm like, oh, well, I post every Monday and Friday at 11 a.m. like on the dot. And they're like, oh, I had no idea. And that was like a person who watched my stuff like all the time. And I'm like, oh, so nobody noticed. Nobody noticed me struggling to try to get these fucking videos out. I don't know.
I'm sorry, man.
Yeah. I mean, I've always tried to keep a schedule after that, but that thought always popped in my head. I'm like, I don't think anybody is noticing.
Apparently the stream's having some random issues, by the way.
Freaking stream issues. Anyone else? I mean, I'm not getting any dropping issues.
Are you having stream issues? So it looked like it had a stop and go moment there.
I don't know why.
Dude, it's YouTube. I don't know. But anyway, no, I get that. And unfortunately in this game, and as you know, I know you know this, that consistency is unfortunately necessary. Because if you're not consistent, you start to lose the... Not only do you lose the momentum of the machine, you also lose the momentum and drive to keep doing it.
Yeah, for sure. Honestly, I'm going to be 100% honest here. I've been thinking a lot about TD and horror stories as a whole over the last week, and if I don't figure out something, I honestly don't know how much longer it's going to last. Narration-wise.
How you going to do that to me, man?
I really don't. I don't know. I just don't know. Because, like, at the moment, I want to get people content, but that's where the drive for it, at the moment, it stops. It's just because I want to give you guys something. It's at the moment, rarely over these past week have I felt like I really want to do it because it's for me, which it should be both sides. I should want to do it. I should want to get it out to them. But at the moment, it's like I just want to get it out to them. It's not really like a want to do it.
Right.
That's how I feel right now because I honestly don't know. I don't have like a system. I don't have anything. And I don't have like a drive to make a system. So like if I don't figure anything out soon, at least, I feel like I'm just never going to want to get back into it.
Right.
I know this is like kind of like a bomb to drop on everybody listening into the podcast, but that's just how I feel at the moment. I don't think anybody's listening because apparently the stream is fucked.
I don't know what happened here. Like, it was... I mean, Patience is still listening. She would have told me if it stopped working.
I think they heard like the whole narration thing and were like, well, he's quitting, so whatever. I'm not quitting.
I was going to say, I guess, honest question, would this be a situation where you think you should take a little time off and try to gather your footing again?
Honestly, I don't know, because the way my brain works is like, if I don't get stuff out, I start to like hate myself mentally for not making anything, and like I feel like people are losing interest. So whenever I take the time to not make stuff and just kind of like deal with my own shit, I always come back and I'm like, new video, and I'm like, but does anybody actually fucking care? Like,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, because there's been so many times where I've been like, new video, and then nothing for like 3 days because I fell asleep or I forgot.
Nothing for 3 days because I fell asleep
Yeah, so
for 3 days. Um,
yeah, I
okay, I
don't.
mean,
Mm.
so I'm just gonna have to say the same thing that I said last time you started having some burnout issues.
I'm
If
not
you
even
need
burnt out.
content, well, no, okay, look, sorry, wrong use of phrase. Just issues with creation. Um, if you need somebody to make content for you for a little bit, you can always ask me.
I just
And I
don't think
know
that
that
would
may,
work. Like that's
I
the thing. I don't think that I would want to do something like that. If it's not me at the helm, like I don't think I
no,
would.
I understand.
I don't think I would want to do something like that.
I more so mean like if you need to take like 2 weeks off and you need 2 or 3 videos and you could use me in your stead, I'll be your um, I'll cover your shift, if so to speak. Um, I'm just saying, and I understand where you're coming from. I know that. I mean, you and I work so closely together that I don't
Hmm.
think anyone would be surprised, to be honest with you.
No. It's like what the fuck is
But
this?
I get it. I'm not saying that you should. I'm just saying like if you need it, man. If you need to do like a true story collection and need like 2 or 3 stories read so you can do one, I'll do that. That's fine.
I just need to figure out how to
Right.
gather stories and then sorry, take the time. My main issue is gathering stories. I'm going to be honest. I can't find anything that interests me anymore. And that's like my huge issue is that I cannot find that's why I'm always going back to like shit that's already been posted by other people because like I know that they're good. So I just asked the person who wrote it if I could do it.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but at the moment, like I've been looking through the truth is here. I cannot for the life of me think of a topic to try to like search through for that. Um, I've been trying to see if I maybe glitch in the matrix would be another one that I want to do again because I really like
So
those stories, but those stories are really hard to pick out the good ones. Some of them are just like, yeah, my dad showed up and then he walked away and then he came back. I'm pretty sure it was not him. Like,
so what I do with that glitch in the matrix ones is I don't know if you've ever heard of Red X. Um,
yeah,
Sam
no,
and stories
I
after
have
midnight.
a thing for it. Yeah,
Sure. I think you're actually the one that originally recommended it to me.
probably.
And then I met Sam, Stories After Midnight, and yeah. Anyway, um, I go to the Glitch in the Matrix subreddit and I do a sort by top, and then I
Yeah,
do anything more than 3 or 5 minutes. You get some good ones that way, and typically those people are really open to using their stories. Um, I feel like the Glitch in the Matrix stories have a lot of pull right now because I know
yeah.
that's pretty much the topic that works best for me right now. That and dark web stories. Um,
Where do you find dark web stories?
we could talk about that after the fact.
Oh,
All of my stories are from people that I've worked with
okay.
since I do IT. So technically, I've written the stories, but they're stories that I know
Right.
from them, told to me, written by me. Um, so I mean, you're free to use those too if you want. I can send those to you. That's not a problem.
Yeah, if you have
Um,
anything like that, I'll
oh
definitely
shit,
do
dude,
like a
I
like
will
a
literally send you all like 9 stories that I have from them.
Yeah,
Cause
I would love to do something like that. It would make it so much easier for at least getting something out.
yeah, I got no problem with that. I didn't even think about that. I don't know if you want because I know you don't really do true story collections much.
I
So
don't it's not that it's just I'm always I was so used to Let's Not Be for so long that I think it tainted my idea of what a true scary story can be because Let's Not Meet is horrible. Um
right, I
it's absolute
so
fucking ass. But like it's not supposed to be you're not supposed to get Let's Not the whole my whole shit is like it's so easy to fake that shit and there's like no credibility. So like I understand that Let's Not Meet is not made for people to just ask permission for the stories and then use them in like a narration context. But even still, like holy shit, we know you're making it up. Like
right.
some a lot of the time those people are making it up just to get upvotes or get their story read on somebody else's page. But
Right. Well, and what's weird, I don't know if you saw Raven Reads, her whole thing about Let's Not Meet and why she doesn't use that sub anymore. Like the sub as a whole has an official stance on narrators telling basically saying that we're a cancer to their community and that nobody should ever work with us because we just steal content to use. So
All right, then just don't use their content anymore, and they'll die.
right. So it's I use creepy encounters because they're kind of like the sister of Let's Not Meet for whenever Let's Not Meet became this authoritarian bullshit.
Yeah, No Sleep
Kind of
kind
like
of turned into the same thing.
that's why Stay Awake exists. The sub for Stay Awake, which
So
is
it's like a No Sleep alternative.
mm-hmm. Yeah, no, like these alt subs totally exist because those other subs became authoritarian and
Yeah,
destructive in their
when
ways.
it comes to the older stuff, like there has to be like a new top dog because these people, not the people, but like the moderators are kind of like filling the people with these non-realistic ideas of how partnership should work, and all of them kind of assume like, yeah, well, we're the writers, so like, fuck you for trying to take my stuff. Like, well, I'm not trying to take your stuff. Yeah, but this other guy did. Like, yeah, but that's him, not me. Like, you're
Right.
just profiling off of one person, and that's a huge issue in the entirety of the world right now, and you're contributing to it in a different way. Like, so good job.
Right. No, and like I don't know, like doing all this stuff, like working with Reddit as I have Redditors and everything. I have found a lot of really good people who are very open
Yeah,
to
so have
working
I.
with people. Um, but then I've also had a handful of people who are all like, don't fucking talk to me because I don't want to ever talk to you and because you just steal content. I'm like, no, I've never stolen content. I've always worked with people and always requested permission, but that's fine. Um, I don't know. Some people are just really aggressive towards narrators, and I don't understand.
Yeah, for sure. I don't know. Let's say
Because
it.
I think we're nice people.
Not all of us.
I'm a nice people.
There's a lot of shitheads out there.
Well, no, that's definitely true. But I'm a nice people, so
Me people. Nice.
you're a nice people.
I'm a dick. I stay out of
All
the
right.
I stay out of the limelight now. That's why I'm nice people, quote unquote, because I was getting into a lot of shit about a year and a half ago. I was just sticking like my input into like everybody's stupid fucking issues because I'm like, this is so dumb. Like these people are
Mm-hmm.
taking shit like way too seriously. Um, and then it ended up like getting me a lot of backlash. So I just kind of I realized that the community as a not as a whole, but like a lot of people who are kind of more prominent and what am I trying to say? Most of the people who come into the community nowadays, like narrator wise, um,
Mm-hmm.
are kind of meeting the same people and then coming into the community. So they're kind of they're it's the same type of thing with No Sleep. Their heads are filled with this way of going about things. So it ends
Mm-hmm.
up continuously adding like more like cancerous ideas of how the
Yep.
community should be. Um, like I've talked about this multiple times, but the whole thing where not a single person, like most of them, won't constructively criticize another person
Oh God, I know that.
because they want to stay on a good basis with that person. But if that person is too sensitive to constructive criticism, they shouldn't be a content creator, or they should learn how to take it because it's
Mm-hmm.
essential. You need to improve. You're never going to be the best at anything. You need to improve on what you're doing. And a lot of people who come into this community don't know what they're doing. And I'm not
Mm-hmm.
telling people like, "Hey, you should do this because I think you suck." I think you don't suck, and I think you should take my advice because I've been doing this for a long time and try to improve. And if it doesn't work, well, fuck me. That's on me. You can tell me to go fuck myself then. But at least
Yep.
try. Like,
And I'm very much that same mindset, and that's probably why I don't have uh, many people who I would consider friends in this community much
mm-hmm.
anymore because I stopped being that person that was like, hey, everything you do is great. In fact, I was never that person. I've always been the type of person where it's like, hey, you did pretty good.
Yeah,
You have the general idea down, but your cadence is terrible. You need
yeah, for
to
sure.
figure out your tone. And there's one thing, because Patience and I were actually talking about um, narrations recently for reasons, and I'm just going to be a dick and say it. We were talking about people who are in this community that just suck ass and are growing immensely.
Yeah, I
Um,
know that's an issue for sure.
It is, and it just kind of annoys me where you got people like you and me who bust our ass and we try really hard and we do really like listening to our stuff is good, and then get people who buy, you know, thousands of subs, and they're like, I'm the best there is, come sub to my channel, and then it's just like they just keep growing because they fucked up the algorithm. But that's
Yep.
not the point. Patience and I were talking about narrations, and I'm going to quote myself on this comment, but the comment I made that actually really rang true to me whenever I said it was, a lot of people get into this and forget the acting part of voice acting.
Yeah, for sure. That's something that not a lot of people who come into this understand, that how we do it and how horror narrations as a whole should be is just a sub category of voice acting. Like, you should be putting your all into the way you're talking as you're making the videos. You should be trying to act like you're the person going through the issues. That's the best result. And if you suck at it, you suck at it. But you get better over time. I did not just fucking pop out the pussy making fucking narrations like a fucking connoisseur. So, like, I know that was a really... I don't give a shit. I don't fucking care right now. But seriously, like, there's not a lot of things that I'm good at. But I know I'm good at this. So I can confidently say that I didn't get like this as soon as I got here. There was a lot of people who told me how to improve. There was a lot of people who told me I fucking sucked. And yeah, it hurt for sure. I thought they were just insulting me. But I took 30 seconds and realized the people who tell me I suck are not the people I should listen to. The people I should listen to are the people who are genuinely giving me detailed issues, like my issues, that I could fix because they're more knowledgeable. That's who I listen to, and that's how I got where I am. It's not because I listen to those people who suck. Do those comments still hurt? For sure. But they hurt a lot less because I know how I got where I am. So if you want to improve, if any of you guys are narrators and you want to improve, but you're kind of negating all of the advice that you're getting back and forth, like, then you don't want to improve. You just want to assume that you're already top notch and that all you want is the success and the growth. You don't get the success and the growth until you improve.
Yep. And that's what I hate, because there's way too many people out there that they're not looking to improve. They're not.
But somehow they ride the algorithm properly, and they just skyrocket.
Yep. And I've admittedly, I've done a shitload of stuff to try to work with the algorithm, and I think I've done okay. But you can't just expect the technology to shove you in front of everybody's face. You have to actually be fucking good. If you're not good at this, get better or get the fuck out.
There's a lot of people who know how to play the system in this community, 100%. And
I hate that so much.
There is a guy who doesn't make videos anymore, but his name was Nefarious TV. He was actually good. He was actually really good at what he did. And I'm not gonna front about that. He was really good. He went from 2,000 subscribers to 20,000 in 2 weeks. Everybody thought he was botting, but it was clear the views were matching, and there was no way that he was buying. So I had to sit down with him. I talked to him about it, and he told me, he's like, bro, I literally my major was marketing. And he knew where to go to put his shit out so that people would go to it. He knew websites, he knew people, he knew contacts, he had contacts. So he knew who to call when he was like, hey, how should I get this shit out here? And he also, like Horror by Numbers did for me without my knowledge, but it was really sweet of him, he paid for ads.
Yep.
And yeah, you don't see them, but other people do.
No, full disclosure, I've paid for advertising for my videos.
So there's an entire possibility that without the ads, I doubt they're buying anything, but like there is a lot of people who probably talk to other people how to work the system, and they figured it out. And that means that they could suck and still get everywhere. Personally, I don't like Chills. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't like his content at all. I don't like his voice. I think he's overreactive, and I don't like I don't think his videos are necessarily bad. I just don't like his voice. I don't think he's a bad dude either. I think he's really cool. But
oh no, he's person-wise, he's awesome. He donates so much money to charity.
When I look at, I feel like Chills started as a parody. Like I feel like the way he did it was like it felt like satire almost. But he started taking it seriously later on. So when I look at it, I'm just like, well, how? I don't like it. So How is he that you can't think like that? There are so many people who like so many different types of things. There is a fucking reason that mumble rap is so popular. Like,
Yep.
because people just accept. They just accept what it is on surface value, and that's it. That's all they want. They don't want this intricate shit. Like, I'm gonna keep bringing up music because music is a huge part of it. Surface level music now is terrible. It's awful, and there's barely any talent in any of it. And the shit that people actually are trying to make that has a lot of passion, that has a lot of work put into it, gets shunned as either old or corny because it has so much work put into it. It's the same. It's the same thing. But I feel like it's a little bit different for narrations because you should want to hear somebody like really trying, you know, because like that makes it more immersive for you. Sure, it makes music a lot better if somebody tries, but like anybody can fake with autotune. Like, so with narration, like you really have to try. Like you really have to do it. If, like I keep saying, if there's any narrators who are trying to get off the ground and like they quote unquote want to improve, if you really want to improve, the first thing you should improve on, well, first audio, 100%. But if you have your audio good and it's clear and it's clean and your editing is good, for fuck's sake, figure out how to act. And when you do, you'll get so much better. I cry when there's crying scenes.
I literally have forced myself to tears, yes.
I'm really good at fake crying. I'm not lying.
Same.
Like, so I could do it right now and it's happening. I can feel it behind my eyes. Like, I can do it so easily. So when I do it in stories, like, it's so easy. But it's also kind of annoying because then I have to wipe my fucking eyes and hope that I can read.
Been there.
But yeah, that's how personally I feel about the community. Like, there's a lot of shit that I do feel, and I'm not going to say because
Yes.
there is like there is an apparent already an issue with me. So like, I'm not gonna delve into that.
I mean, with all respects, never comes to people having issues with you. I don't give a shit. I think you're a great person.
No, I
have no
don't.
intention of thinking any otherwise. So
The only reason I could think of people having an issue with me, like narrator to narrator type shit, I feel like it is because I am one of the people in the community that gives constructive criticism, and I'm always nice about it. I'm never like, hey, dude, like, seriously, what the fuck? No, you should be doing this. I'm always really nice when I bring it up. I think it either is they don't like that, or when I see something, like, there's a lot of drama in the community, like little micro drama. And when I see it, or some people come to me with it because they don't know what to do. So I tell them what they should do, and they do it, and then it backfires on them, and I'm there to protect them. That's basically what it is. Like, I'm there to go in and be like, hey, you're not thinking logically, and of course, like, I use like foul language and like I kind of destroy them verbally a little bit, but I have a feeling that's what it could be because it's happened a lot in the past with me. Like, I just can't sit by and watch somebody go through shit and it's clear that they don't know how to give proper backfire. So I go to their aid and I'm like, listen, I text them before. I'm like, listen, what's going on? Like, tell me the situation. And they tell me the situation. I'm like, all right. And then I give them straight logistics. So,
right.
And I've done that a lot over the past like 2.5 years that I've been doing this. So I'm pretty sure if somebody like a narrator doesn't like me, or if there's like a group of narrators that doesn't like me, which is what it seems like, that's, or maybe it's because I didn't work with them. I don't know. I don't work with everybody. I barely work with anybody.
Right. No, and that's so like, I don't know. I guess in my opinion, whenever it comes down to the fact that there are, because you know, and I know you know, and I know this too, there are people out there that don't like you, and that's fine.
100%, yeah. I just want to know why. Like, I really would like to know why.
Dude,
not even just so I can be like, hey, fuck you for thinking that you're wrong. Like, I just want to know. Like, really, what have I done to piss people off?
Right. Well, and interestingly enough, I now know for a fact there's also a group of people that are out there that don't like me.
Yeah, probably because you're associating with me.
Most likely. But in the end, my statement to them is I can show them
Honestly, I
where to
think
put
it's
the business
fucking
and the
cool.
cactus.
Honestly, I think it's cool as shit that I have been here long enough to create a disdain, a stir. You know what I mean? Like, I've been doing this long enough and maybe well enough, depending on who you ask, well enough to where there is a certain group of people who do what I do that will not associate with me and will tell people not to associate with me because of something I did that I don't know. And
You, my friend,
I think
are
it's
the deliverer of a scarlet letter upon this community.
I love it. I fucking adore it. I think it's awesome. It makes me feel special. It makes me feel like I did something. Like that makes me slightly important.
Yeah.
In the community, which is cool. Definitely cool.
Isn't it funny? Those people that are out there that think that they're doing the right thing by telling others to not associate with you, all they're doing is fluffing your ego and making you realize.
Yeah, because whenever it comes up and it's like I'll ask like, hey, do you want to come on the podcast? No, I don't want to work with you. Like, oh, why? It's like I just don't like you, and I'm like, oh, why is that? Yeah, this guy told me not to talk to you, and I can see why. And I'm like, so there's other people. How many? How many people actively hate me? that takes energy. That takes energy and fucking like drive to actively hate someone. And if you're like going out of your way to be like, hey, don't talk to this person, like that's awesome because that means I'm on like people think about me in both aspects, and that's just making me feel cool. Like I don't give a fuck. Keep telling people not to come to me. See if I give a shit.
That's what I'm saying, man. It's like the level of disdain for yourself and then others who associate with you, like myself. It becomes almost obsession level.
Yeah, it's really funny.
It's
cult like.
Yeah,
it's very cool though.
It is.
I like
it's just. But I'm right there with you. You know, like, why should I give a shit if you don't like me? Yeah. I don't care. You don't affect my work. I've been doing this for almost a year and 2 months. I'm gonna keep doing it. The fact that you don't like me doesn't change that fact.
Yeah, this is. I didn't even think about it that way, but it's weirdly cool to be hated by a group of people in the same community as you, because I have no idea who they are. They all know who I am. So who is this hate benefiting? Is it benefiting them because they're telling people not to talk to me and they're just adding people to their little group? Or is it benefiting me because I have no idea who they are?
That's what I'm saying, dude. Like, they're... Because it's like...
it's less dipshits to deal with.
Yes, there's that. Because if you're so easily motivated that you walk into a community and within the first month someone's saying, hey, don't talk to this guy, and you're not talking to him, okay.
Yeah, well, that's less for me to deal with. I don't care.
But what I was saying is I was talking to Slumber at one point in time, and he straight told me that there's a group of narrators that exist that tell people to block him because he's toxic and will ruin their career.
Yep.
It's like Slumber reads. Really? Like the nicest dude one of the nicest dudes I talked to that has a bigger channel that just posts about his life in his camper.
Yeah. Apparently he's not in the camper anymore.
No, I know. It was temporary apparently.
Yeah.
But that's what I'm saying. It's like
he just did it to get his mind off things, apparently.
And dude, more power to him. He had the money to do it, and maybe that's what I think that's what it is. I think it's these people look at us, look at people like you, me, Slumber, etc. See how we do things. They understand we have the drive to be successful, and they fucking hate it because they don't. Because they want to cheat the machine. They want to cheat the algorithm. They want to succeed that way, and they hate us because we're successful. Because even though you and I have small channels, it doesn't fucking matter.
No, it's not even the fact. When it comes to the horror community, size really doesn't matter, and it's more about the footprint that you leave. Because it's not spots, but like you can very well situate yourself and solidify yourself in the community hard. Like where a lot of people know who you are, but you're not even that big, and sometimes people get. Like, I've worked very hard to try to solidify myself in the community to where people can come to me and ask for thumbnails or advice or to work with me. So the fact that I feel like I have finally gotten there, like where people actually know who I am, uh, people are just scared of being forgettable. And instead of actually doing it the right way and actually trying to work with that person or anybody and work hard to just work on you and stop fucking giving a shit about everybody else, like they just it's easier for them to be like, you know what, he is cool with how he is, but I'm not. So fuck him, because I'm not cool with where my channel is. Like, how can he be cool where his channel is? He's under 10,000 subscribers. He doesn't even really get paid enough money to even do this shit full time. And like, yeah, so I like it. It's cool. It's fun. These people are the people that like, yeah, just make me feel like I don't want to do videos anymore. That will definitely help you.
It's less competition.
Yeah, right.
That's what they
like
think.
them being like, I'm gonna say something really fucking like narcissistic, but like them thinking that their competition with me is really fucking funny.
Dude,
Like,
that's not even no. That's not even narcissistic, because unfortunately, those people that have that mentality that they think they need to eliminate the competition, like this is some sort of fucking battle game or something.
No, I'm
and
totally
not-
100% being egotistical here. I think I'm good enough to where whoever is doing this, whoever, because there is a definite group of people, and I'm not saying where we got this information from, but there is a definite group of people that don't like me and definitely don't like Raven because he associates with me.
Mm-hmm.
So my whole final thing on this is that if you truly think that I'm a piece of shit for some random reason, and everybody else who associates me is a piece of shit, and you're trying to eliminate me because of it for competition, I'm going to let you know right now. Compared to me, you ain't even in the fucking ballpark. So maybe try to work on yourself before you come at somebody else.
See, my mentality is if they want to sit there and talk about how much they dislike you and dislike me, do it fucking publicly. Don't talk shit behind my back. Go on Twitter, tweet that you don't like me and why you don't like me. Do it.
Yeah, go ahead.
That's my opinion. Whenever it comes to people that hate others, hate myself, or are aggressive, rude, mean, like that, I have no problem personally putting these people on blast into the court of public opinion. If you have a problem with me, tell the world you have a problem with me. Tell the world why you have a problem with me, and then we can work it out from there. But in the end, you're going to find out that you're just an asshole and don't like me because I'm different than you.
I didn't mean this whole like
No.
I'm just saying to everybody, like, I didn't start this to like bash anybody, but like this is some shit that me and Raven have been talking about behind the scenes for a while, and like,
oh, sure.
It's just like it needs to be said publicly that if any of you who actually like don't like me and don't like him because he associates with me are listening, I hope you know that I'm not taking back what I said. If you really, really are doing this because you're competitive and you think that this will knock you up a notch, one, I'm not that important. And two, you're not even close to being that much better than me. So you really need to work on yourself or find another fucking motive, because it's not going to happen. I'm sorry. I work too goddamn hard, and I've worked so goddamn hard over the past 2.5 years to get really good for some stupid little dipshit who can't even stop fucking talking into his iPhone as his fucking microphone about stupid fucking Let's Not Me stories and posting it to nobody who cares, for him to affect my whole shit.
Yeah. And yeah. And like I said, I know in this community that I'm looked at as kind of a softie. I know I'm a very polite
You're a little
person.
softy, but I love you.
No, see, here's the thing. Inside of you, there are two wolves. One named
100%.
Steve, one's named Steve, the other one's named Steve. They're both named Steve. That's how this works. Sorry, that's an old meme that I sent to Patience. I had to make her laugh with it. No, but what I'm saying is, like, I am absolutely a polite person, and just personally, I'm a very polite person. But if you piss me off and get me going on something, I will be pissed off. Like, I have no problem being this aggressive person that severs all ties and burns all bridges. That's just me, because I've spent my whole life burning these fucking bridges with people that I don't care about anymore. I don't care. I didn't get where I am because other people, like other narrate. Well, okay, let me phrase this. Let me say this better. There are other narrators out there in this community who are very polite and very helpful. I love them all whenever they are. Those that are aggressive and those that are with that mentality, as you've discussed, those are the ones that I have absolutely been weeding out of my life as this past year started, and have been trying to disassociate from personally.
Yeah.
I don't know if they've noticed that I've done this, and I haven't completely cut those ties yet, but eventually I will once I get the, gall to actually do so. But those are the ones who are going to see. I don't remember where I was going with this. My point is, don't.
That happened to me halfway through. Yeah, halfway through my whole spiel, I like almost lost it. I'm like, oh, thank God.
But you get my point. It's like
Yeah.
I will be the nicest person to you I can if you are polite and respectful to me. Even if you hate my shit and come up to me and saying, "Hey, I cannot stand your voice," just so you know, I'm gonna be like, "All right, cool." And then if you're like, "Hey, so want to play the forest or something?" Yeah, sure. That's fine. Like I'm friendly. I like people sometimes. I hate people.
By the way, you should definitely join me and my friends for the forest. Because
I think I will.
Because me and them were playing it last night. We are gonna have to take you back through the cave that we went through last night because we found the rebreather.
Okay.
So definitely we're gonna have to, and I know where it is. I marked it, so
I've been
just running right there.
Having fun playing that with Ghost. Honestly, that kid. He's one of he's one of those people who's totally genuine. Like he does narration sometimes, but he hasn't done anything in a long time. And he just came up to me and was like, "Hey, you want to play the forest?" I'm like, "Fuck yeah, dude!" So we started playing it, and it was fun. And like that's the kind of thing. That's the kind of relationships I want. I want people to be respectful to me, even if they don't like what I do. I'm not saying Ghost doesn't like what I do because he's a patron. He totally likes what I do. But if he didn't, I would still play the game with him. But if he came up to me rude, rude, and then tried to say like, "Hey, could you want to collab? I want to use your audience to grow." No, like, because that's another totally separate issue that you and I could yell at the microphones about here. 100%. People that want to just like, "Hey, let's collab because I have 20 subs and you have 2,000." Yeah, you know what? I worked for this 2,000 subs. I'll work with you if you want to be respectful about it and make this kind of like a mutual thing.
There is a side to this community that kind of collabs with each other, and I'm so happy I'm not a part of it.
Oh, absolutely.
Like, there is actually never been a single person who has been smaller than me that has come to me trying to collab, and I'm very happy about that because I bet you that's the group of people that really don't like me. And I know all of them. Like, if that is who that is, I know every single one. I've heard all of their videos. Like, sorry, bro, you ain't shit. Like,
and the thing is, like, it's that group is consistent.
Yeah.
My whole thing is whenever there's a narrator channel out there who comes to me and saying, "Hey, I just wanted to say hi. I love your stuff and was wondering if you want to collab at some point in the future." And I'm like, "Hell yeah, let's do it." And they're like, "Oh my God, I didn't think you would answer." Those are the ones I'm willing to work with.
Mm-hmm.
Because those are the ones that do it genuinely and are like, "Oh, this is a bigger channel. I know he is. I don't think he'll answer me." That's like me asking, your maker to collab, which I did at one point in time because I had a dream that he and I collabed, and that was just weird. But anyway, my point is, like, if you're genuine about it and you like come to me and like, "Hey, could we?" and then you're excited about it, great. But if you just come to me like, "Hey, do you want to collab?" and I'm like, "All right, yeah, sure," and like, "Fine, read these 3 stories." You were using me at that point. You're not excited.
Yeah, for sure. I don't know, man.
It's all good. Hey, you know what, dude? This was a passionate conversation that absolutely needed to happen.
No, it did, for sure. I needed to talk about this shit a while ago, but, like, at first I was like, oh, well, I'm kind of just making a point as to why they shouldn't like me because I'm, like, screaming at the microphone. But, like, if you really don't fucking like me, then please come to me and tell me why you don't like me. I would love to fucking hear it. I don't give a shit. I just hope you know that. I really don't fucking care why you don't like me. Am I a dickhead? For sure. Is that why? Probably. Do I fucking care? No. Am I gonna stop? Definitely not. So,
exactly. Like,
please.
you still, I mean, like, you just straight up summed up the whole thing, dude. Like, it's, yeah.
Yeah, I like, when I get, I'm really mad. Like, I'm not gonna lie. Like, that shit brought up, like, all the shit that I was trying to think about the community for a while. And there's still a lot more to say, but it's a lot more name-cally, and I'm not gonna do that. I'm not that type of person to call out everybody. But I will say what is pissing me off about what all these people are. Like, we were trying to get somebody on the podcast. Like I said, I'm not gonna name names. We were trying to get somebody on the podcast, and this is where this all came up from. This is where we found out that it was actually happening. I hope you don't mind me talking about this. Do you mind me talking about this?
I mean, at this point, you know what, dude? I don't care.
I'm not, like I said, I'm not going to name names, so... well, they know 100%. If they listen, they're going to understand. But I'm not going to tell anybody here so that they... I'm not going to... I don't believe any of you guys would, but this is just to make sure. like
Yeah,
go
if
attack
we
that
do-
person or anything. So
no,
I
don't
know
name
they
any
would.
names.
I definitely know they wouldn't. But this is just to make sure. And I'm so I don't remember what it was. It was like probably the beginning of December. We were trying to line people up for the end of the year. And before Raven Reads was a suggestion, we had an idea for another person. So we went to Raven had went to that person because he's closer to that person than I am, and they asked he asked them, and I don't remember what they said, but you somehow found out from them like a little clue as to like this whole big thing that was happening. Is there?
So basically, it was that it wasn't. They wouldn't really mind, and I'm sorry to say this, but they wouldn't really mind working with me, but they didn't want to work with you.
Yeah.
And that, I'm not gonna lie, that actually pissed me off.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, that is kind of the group that I'm trying to sever from to some extent.
Yeah.
Some of them are supportive and some of them are good, but there's a lot of them that they're toxic. And the best way to put it is they're poisoning the well. That's what they do.
Yeah.
They talk shit against somebody behind people's backs. And unfortunately, we've also been told like I told you, and I'm not gonna name names again, but I was told that that we shouldn't have worked with Raven Reeds. And I'm just like, how dare you tell me?
Wait, what? I didn't know about that. Really?
Yes.
They told us not to work with Courtney?
Different person, same idea. And same...
Courtney's amazing.
Dude, right?
Like, she's probably going to be a guest on again pretty soon if she can find the time.
Like, well, if she wasn't taking February off to do a vacation, I would say get her in February.
Yeah, we'll probably get her in, like, March or something.
Yeah.
That's a good space.
It was the same same method of doing of speaking, but it was a different person. And then actually, again, it pissed me off.
Yeah. Especially when like I can understand. I'm a fucking dickhead. If somebody says not to work with me, I don't know if I would get that, but I would be like, be wary. Sometimes he could be a little like outbursty. Like that's what I would say to someone if I was somebody talking about me, I would say that. But never in the manner of like, oh, don't work with him. He's going to destroy everything you're trying to build. Because that's the way these people are acting. Like, associating with me is going to poison you. Like,
and I guarantee you, if any of them are listening or actually,
but with Courtney, like, yeah, she goes on Twitter and she says what pisses her off, and she should be able to. It's Twitter, like,
dude, I idolize her for what she does with those comments.
That's why I always respond to that shit. I'm like, finally, another fucking person who's not afraid to say like, oh, this shit is fucking annoying, like.
But what I was saying was, I guarantee you, if some people from that group are listening to this, I just burned that bridge. I 100% guarantee it, and I'm going to hear about it. But I just hope that they realize that I'm not. The burning of the bridge isn't happening because I'm throwing the fucking match.
Yeah.
You want to treat me like shit and treat people that I love and care for like shit, you're just going to get blasted. I'm not going to say you're, but you're going to piss me off. There's going to be this conversation where Dark and I talking to a microphone at Sunday at 5 o'clock in the fucking evening, and these people that are in the chat, these lovely people, Fearsome Hero, Silver Studio, Anime, Dea, Patience, all these people are going to hear it, and they're going to be like, wow, I wonder who they're talking about. But you deep down are going to know we're talking about you. So
I did see a comment earlier in the chat where it was like, I really want to know who they're talking about, but I'm not going to ask. Honestly, I don't even know who we're talking about. So, like, that's the fucking issue. These people are a bunch of pussies. They're not doing anything, like, forward. They're just behind the scenes, like, like.
Right, there are literally a couple people whose name I know that are part of this.
The only person I know is the initial person that brought up the whole quote-unquote conspiracy. That's all I know.
Right.
And like I said, I'm not going to tell anybody. Nobody's going to know.
No.
I'm not saying shit.
No.
But that's
And
the
no,
only
I
person that... I don't think you said anybody else, so I don't know.
I've mentioned one other person to you, but it's irrelevant. And
I think
really,
you told me their name, and I'm like, I don't even know who the fuck that is.
Right, and that's kind of where I'm sitting with this too. It's like the only reason I've mentioned it to you is because this one specific person's talking shit on you, and I'm like, he should probably know that this person is potentially talking shit against him. So,
yeah, and the funny part is, like, if I knew the person, maybe I would have went to them. But I hadn't. Now I'm remembering it. I don't remember the name, but I remember stating I had no fucking idea who this person was.
Right.
And that's what pissed me off a little bit more. It was like, there is people who I don't even know who don't like me. How the fuck does that make sense?
Right, and that's what I'm saying is, we can see the surface level. How many people have they poisoned? How many people are drunk from the poison well, and are sitting there talking about how shit we are as people? Like, and that bothers me, because I know for a fact that I've tried to make some friendships with some people, because it is natural to try to make some friends, but I've come to a point where I can pretty much only make friends with the people that like you, um, and then my author friends like PA.
Yeah, you're screwed on that one.
And everything. Well, dude, I would never not consider you my friend, because you're one of the few people in this world that are absolutely direct and honest, and trust me, I love that more than
That's what I'm saying. I'm pretty sure, like, because I know that about myself, and I know
Mm-hmm.
that I am, and I think about it all the time. But like, that has to be what it is. Because if that must be why Raven Reeds is getting shit too, because like she's brutally honest.
Right.
So I'm sensing a connection. You're you're in the shitter with me because you associate with me. Me and her is basically the same thing. We both are outspoken people who don't really hold anything in if we think about it within reason. So that's the only thing I can really think of. Or they're just, I don't know. I don't have success. I don't get it. There's nothing to be envious about. Like, I don't have a lot. Like, have I all right, my ultimate achievement is being able to speak into this microphone, and there's a chat right there that'll always be there. Mm-hmm. And I'm talking to you, and you're always here. And I can make fucking all of Swamp Dweller's thumbnails for a month. And that's a salary thing. That's something I achieved. I have made thumbnails for Let's Read, Mr. Creeps. Like, this is shit that I've fucking achieved. If you want to be envious about that, then fucking do it.
Dude.
Like, just do it. I did it, so you do it now. Why? Don't be envious. Fucking make it yourself.
Everything you just mentioned is honestly, in my opinion, a crowning achievement. The fact that we had Joel on this podcast, dude.
I was in a fucking video with Let's Read. Like,
dude, exactly.
This is not shit I'm gloating about. I'm telling you, I did it because I went for it. And I knew that I could. Like, I asked Joel to, instead of paying me, be on the podcast. And he filled it in with, how about a podcast and a video? Ask. Go for what you want.
Right.
And if it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. But never let that stop you. Because that's how we got where we are.
Right.
That's why everybody got where they were. Like, they went for it. Even the people who are riding the system and they suck, they figured out a fucking way because they wanted it.
Mm-hmm. And that's the thing. Like, I don't like those people that ride the system. I admit that. But it's a situation of they're still fucking doing what they're doing.
Yeah.
But they're not sitting around on their ass. Well, except for text-to-speech channels. They are sitting on their ass.
You can hate them as much as you want, but there's a drive there for sure. Like, there's just as much as a drive to make it happen a different way, like us. Like, maybe we don't like them because they figured out a way that they can do it without trying hard. But
it could be that, but it could also be, it's like, I don't know. Just like, because some of the people that do that shit.
How are you going to tell somebody that? But this is the thing that the only reason I can agree with how they do it is that how are you going to tell somebody that instead of struggling for so long to get somewhere, you can just do this and get there faster? Like,
yeah, but those are the people that also think they're better than others and then don't tell.
True. No, I'm not saying that they're good people. I'm just saying I can understand the temptation.
Right, like Patience just said in the chat. Sorry. The fact that instead of saying I did this, you didn't, ha ha ha, and you saying you do it tells enough. Exactly. You're not sitting there saying, dude, I had Let's Read on the podcast. What the fuck did you have?
Yeah.
You're saying I had Let's Read on the podcast. Now you go do it.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm saying. If you have such a fucking problem with me because, and if it is because of what I've achieved, and I'm so small, like, and I've achieved that, then take the stick out of your fucking ass, stop looking at me and start looking at yourself and go get it for yourself. Because shunning me and shunning Raven and shunning Courtney is not going to get that for you. Because you need to do it for yourself. You can't take down people and hope that people pay attention. Where do you think you're going with that? You want if you're looking at like a Let's Read thing. Oh, Let's Read was on his podcast. Oh, he was in a Let's Read video. Oh, I think I have skills to make thumbnails. I want to make a Let's Read thumbnail.
Sure.
Why are you looking at me? Go look at Let's Read, the person that you want to work with, and fucking ask him. If he says no, get better, ask him again. If he says no again, then keep working. Like, you don't need people to do this. You just need you. Stop looking at me, start working on yourself, and go get what the fuck you want. Because I can't give it to you.
Right. Dude, and it's... and that's what I'm saying. It's like, dude, it's just... These people, that's what they hate, is that drive. They hate that. Those people that the person that chronically thumbs down your videos, they hate that. They hate the fact that you're willing to step out of your comfort zone, you're willing to work your ass off for something, and you're willing to get it.
I'm barely even narrating anymore. I'm making mostly thumbnails. I started as a narrator, now I'm a thumbnail maker for like half the fucking community. Go get what you want, because sometimes it happens. It's the funny part is I was never looking to make thumbnails for people. That's what's cool about it, is that I have always had a drive for graphic design and like figuring out Photoshop and how to make things look cool in pictures. And it was always just for me. I wanted to make my stuff look cool. But eventually, I was just like, hey, let me make you a thumbnail. You look like you're having some issues. Do you want me to help you like figure out the program? And they're like, no, but I can give you some money. I'm like, no, you don't have to give me money. It takes like 2 seconds. Eventually, it was just like, no, it's not taking 2 seconds anymore because I'm getting better at this, but my better skills are taking longer to actually put out there. So now I have to start charging. What do I start charging? All right, well, just Swamp Dweller is honestly the reason that I'm actually commissioned for anything now, because he got Joel. I got on Joel's radar because of Swamp, and I got on Mr. Creep's radar because of Joel. So without Swamp commissioning me for that, for the PR work for his band, I wouldn't have actually figured out how to properly price myself for my skills.
Right.
So like, it's a road that you have to take. You never know where it fucking ends up, because I never thought I'd be here. I'm less thinking about narrations and more thinking about thumbnails. Like, that's never something that I thought. And I'm not thinking of dropping narration by any means. It's just thumbnails right now are like, it's really fun. It's really cool to be that creative because it's another outlet. And you never know where that outlet's going to take you. You can start as a narrator, end up as a voice actor. You can start as a narrator, end up on a podcast and just be doing podcasting. Like, or you could be me and do all three. Like, it's just, you never fucking know. But you have to stop looking at other people for that. You have to start looking at you. Or otherwise, you're never going to get anywhere.
I was going to say, something to add to that, just because you said that exact phrasing that always gets to me in my mind. The one thing that people do wrong whenever they enter this community is they start comparing their work to others. They start looking at their first video and then go listen to Let's Read or Mr. Creepypasta, and they're like, wow, my shit sucks. No, you don't compare yourself to somebody else. You compare yourself to yourself. You use others that you love as inspiration.
Yeah.
You use them as a method of looking at what works, what doesn't work, improving how you do it, and then you narrate a story, and you watch a video 2 years from now, and then you go watch your first one. You make note of what you've done better. That's the point. You do not improve based on the performance of somebody else. You improve based on your own performance and your own practice and skill sets that you develop. And that also, again, comes down to the wire of people being jealous of others, because it just, they look at you, Dark, and they look at me, and they look at other people of our size, and they're like, wow, they're doing so well. Why aren't I doing well? My stuff's not doing as good as theirs. They don't look at you and me and say, wow, they're doing really good. What are they doing different? Right. What are they doing different? What could I change? What can I modify in my process that makes things easier, faster, more efficient? I don't know. I don't understand that mentality. You're not me. You're not TDN. You're not Joel. You're not Jensen. You're not Raven Reeds. You're not Mr. Creepypasta. You're you. Be you.
My last thing that I'm going to add to this whole situation is that finally, talking to anybody out there who is a group of people who don't like me or Raven or Courtney or any of us because of whatever fucking reason. What you're doing is not only being toxic to others that you're trying to aim at purposefully, but you're also being toxic to yourself. You're creating this group of people that all hate one specific goal. And at the end of it, that group of people is all you're going to have. And nobody is going to look at you. So if you're doing this for gain or growth, this is not the way to do it. Because you're going to start looking around you eventually because you're alienating everybody away from us. And you're realizing that you're burning bridges you didn't even know you wanted to cross.
Well, I mean, dude, those same people, I mean, come on. If someone comes to you and says, don't work with this person 1,000 times, what are you going to start to think?
Yeah.
That person's the problem.
Yeah.
So they're not even going to have that group of people that they've been alienating. They're going to alienate themselves from the people that they're making hate others.
You're creating this pocket of negativity that's all you're going to have for the rest of your quote-unquote career. And I'm not saying quote-unquote, like, because I don't know what you want from this. I really don't. I don't know what any of you guys want from this. But if you want growth, stop looking at me. Because taking me out is not going to give it to you. And also, you're doing a pretty shit job at trying to take me out, because I'm still here.
And I mean...
Two and a half years later, I'm still fucking here.
That's what I'm saying. You're not going anywhere. I'm not going anywhere. So they've achieved nothing.
I pity the people who really think that this is the way to go about growth. Because they don't... I really want them to understand you should stop now. For real. Yeah. It's not even just with me. I'm not saying that if you decide to stop that I'm just going to be like, all right, let me give you some people that you could talk to. Like, no. When you surround yourself with that and you surround other people who think the same way around you, all it will ever be is toxic, and that's all you'll ever think about. It's the same thing if, like, you have toxic friends. If you surround yourself with those toxic people, all you're ever going to be is toxic and upset. If you surround yourself with like-minded people and positive people, eventually you'll start to become more positive yourself. And it's the same situation. You are not going to grow at all because you keep surrounding yourself with these people, these like-minded people that you created, because you want to grow, and that's not going to happen. Because if you can't grow as a person by surrounding yourself with toxic people, then you're not going to grow as a channel if you surround yourself with toxic channels.
Yep. Literally, yeah. Very aptly put, perfectly said, man. Yeah. Yeah, as Coco just said, you are who you surround yourself with.
Exactly.
That's true.
It's the same thing for all of this. You're not gonna, if you want to be somebody, then start being yourself, because we can't help you.
No.
Anyway, honestly, I think that's a good place to end it, because if we just keep going, we're just gonna get more mad.
Well, hopefully getting some of this rage out can help you see what you're doing this for. Like, because I'm not being a dick, but you started this podcast with a very melancholy tone. And by the end of it, now you're riled up, and it sounds like you want to punch a fucking wall. So
I don't want to just punch. It's not even that I want to punch a fucking wall. I'm fired up to keep going. I feel like this is what I needed to make a video. Like, I really needed to shed light on, like, some shit that's been going on, because I felt so stuck. So, and even if this is not the situation that I should have talked about, there really isn't one I can think to talk about. Now, if you send me those stories, it's going out tomorrow. Like, I want to fucking go.
I sent
you tell him.
Yeah, Spakaria, I'm gonna fucking do it.
I'm so determined to invade your stream.
Did you miss that entire? Did you miss that entire hour of us basically bashing half the community?
She did.
Oh.
I did.
Just to run you, definitely. If just to run you through, there is a group of people in the community that basically tell anybody who wants to associate with me not to. So we just went through an hour long, like, basically just spouting at those people as to why it's wrong, like, aggressively. Like, it was aggressive as shit. So
Oh.
Yeah.
It was one hell of a conversation.
For sure. I'm definitely pissed off, like, after that.
He now wants to drink a Red Bull and run headfirst through a brick wall. So
basically, I want to run through a brick wall and then drink a Red Bull.
Oh, damn.
Yeah. Anyway.
But it was a conversation about negativity and anger that turned into a very positive conversation about improving yourself.
Yeah. At the end of it, it really turned into, instead of bashing, it really turned into, listen, you should probably stop because it's going to get really bad for you. Not that I'm going to attack you or anything. It's not what's going to happen. You're going to start realizing that, and too late, that you fucked up. It's not even just with me. If you're going to do that to me and Raven, you could do that to anybody. And you're eventually going to do it to everybody. And have nobody.
Right. I like the little add-on, and have nobody.
And have nobody.
I'm just happy I got to invade your stream.
Yes.
You didn't say my name, so you didn't summon me, but I summoned myself, so that's okay.
I was actually surprised you weren't here earlier.
Kind of.
I feel like it wouldn't have been as heated if she was here. Like,
it might have been.
Yeah, no, she's too... Spicaria's too sweet. She would just be like, yeah, but no, nuggies.
Alright, I won't be sweet with you after that. I will mess you up.
Oh, damn. She's gonna stab you, bro.
Yeah, everybody else is trying to stab me, so what else is new?
Rip, Dark will be missed.
Will I, though?
I mean, I'm gonna miss the hell out of you, bro.
But who are we? We're all toxic, apparently. Anyway,
Yeah,
the
podcast is just gonna have to be The Nest.
Basically, yeah. I mean, that's not
I'm
a
gonna
bad
be
name.
sued by Google.
Well,
I'm gonna be sued by Google for their Nest stuff.
Fucking
So
this just in. Amazon sues dolphins for using echolocation.
I mean, we're not far off from that. Come on now.
The reason why I wasn't on earlier is because I took a nap so I could be awake for it. But I overnapped. And I woke up, I'm like,
It's a good thing that these stay up afterwards.
It's true.
Just definitely watch back over it because you're just gonna be like, yeah. No, it gets pretty heated for sure. Because I love that I know that Raven gets mad because his voice gets so much higher, like, and it's really funny, and I love it.
So instead of it's
silence.
It's silence.
It was too high pitched; it didn't get picked up.
Yeah, your mic didn't pick it up.
Oh, really? Oh.
No, it's my voice, and whenever I get heated, it does. It goes from this, and it goes up higher like this, and it just, I know that.
You're like, I don't even understand!
Literally.
No, it was great. I loved it. It's like, it's how you're getting mad, but I know you so well that I'm just like, I want to take you seriously, but I just want to pinch your cheeks. You're so cute.
So much. I am older than you. Stop it.
Yeah, so? And everybody knows me as the dick, and they're telling you not to talk to me. So clearly, there's a difference here.
Yeah.
Clearly, I'm the asshole.
Nah, we love you, man.
People can think I'm an asshole.
I feel like
honestly
I've
don't
missed
care.
I've missed so much. I'm just like,
Yeah, you need to get filled in.
what
You gotta watch
happened? This is what happens when I'm not here.
We went through the whole situation. Honestly, it's
on
like,
your own stream.
Yeah, we went through the whole situation. So if you're really curious as to why we're so pissed off, you definitely should go back through it.
I'm just gonna be listening back, going, "Oh, fuck! Oh,
Yeah.
oh."
No, there is a point where I got like really like in my own head, and like I'll before we go, like I'll rephrase, like I'll not rephrase, but I'll reiterate what I said. Basically, we were talking about how it would, like, maybe these people don't like me and they're trying to take us down because it's easier competition if we don't exist. And I straight up said, I'm like, listen, bro, if this is how you're acting, I know how good I am, so I know that you're not in the fucking ballpark. Like, and I felt so good saying it. It felt kind of weird saying it, but it felt good. It felt a little egotistical, but I needed it to. Because I want people to know, if you're not my... I'm going to say this. If you're not my friend, as a narrator, then I think you're not as good as me. No, I'm kidding.
Whoa.
No, that's definitely not.
Wow.
No, that's definitely not true. But if you hate
That ego.
if you do hate me because you think I'm competition, you're not even close. Sorry.
Damn.
Yeah.
You're just
So
not.
Keep that ego, baby. I love it.
I'll keep the ego.
just like-
I only have ego because, like, nobody tells me otherwise. Like, if you start telling me I suck, maybe it'll dwindle, but, like, nobody has yet. So it's still here.
What did I miss? I still haven't even had coffee. I'm just like, wow. Whoa.
I recommend a significant amount of coffee before you start this.
Oh,
video.
100%. Dark
Okay,
is
they go-
over. Fuck it. Cancel me. I don't give a shit. Fucking
is
cancel me.
Cankla Dark.
Cankle.
Like that he misspelled it.
Hey,
Oh,
don't
yes.
fucking
No,
call it my
fuck it.
cankles, you dirty cuck.
God damn it.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Anyway, so this has been the TheDarkNest Podcast. It's been a really weird episode for sure. I don't think we've ever had something this forward. But I really feels like between me and Raven, we've both had these issues for a couple months now, and it kind of has been like we've been spoon feeding you shit, and it just really needed to come out as a whole. So I really apologize for it being so heated if nobody really wanted to listen to that type of stuff. It won't really happen again, I'm pretty sure, unless something like this gets worse. And then we'll talk about it again. But this was just honestly something that needed to happen, and we were both alone, so like it makes sense. So thank you guys so much for listening. I don't have a guest on next week, but I'm going to try to get one. Maybe Spicaria will go on and come out again.
No guest, you say?
Yeah, maybe you could be an official non-party crasher guest.
Wait. Oh.
Your name actually being on the thumbnail kind of thing.
I suppose.
We'll figure it out. We got a whole week. Thank you guys so much for listening. Next week we should have Lady Spicaria on. It won't be in the description because I forgot to put it down there, but you know who Raven is. Please go check him out. He's awesome. He does great narrations. He's a good dude. Spicaria, same thing.
Who's Raven?
Who the fuck's Raven?
Anyway, no, but definitely go check out Spicaria too. She has some awesome stuff, especially the Harper Codex. Definitely go check that shit out. I love all you guys. Thank you guys so much for listening. Thank you guys so much for being here. Anybody who hates me, go fuck yourself. And yeah, I'm TD in Horror Stories. That's As the Raven Dreams, and sometimes Spicaria.
I invade.
She invades. And this has been the TheDarkNest Podcast for this week. Thank you guys, and we'll see you guys next time for another one.